Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to date of performance management 15 days revision crash course. And the topic is relevant costing. In my previous lecture, that is day 7, I've gone through pricing. So under pricing, one of the pricing approach was to relevant costing. So this relevant costing now it is expanded and explained in detail. Okay. So here we are going to go through relevant costing principles, make versus buy decision, shutdown decision, joint products. Relevant costing principle says, okay, you should not take irrelevant cost. For example, sunk cost. Sunk cost when you're taking in a decision, it's an irrelevant cost. You should only take a relevant cost. That means relevant cash flow. That's why you have to understand what is the meaning of relevant cost. Sunk cost, one example is, for example, anything you have expended on research to make that product. So those you cannot recover them. Whatever you have spent goes. You cannot recover them back. That is known as sunk cost. So it is an irrelevant cost. Now, under this relevant costing, you will be asked questions to calculate. You should be able to know that as well as explain the qualitative factor involved in the decision making process. Okay. So this includes future incremental cash flow arising as the direct result of that decision. If this decision was not carried forward, you might not incur this cost. Okay. If you're incurring this cost because of that decision, then it is relevant. Okay. So cash, future, incremental. Three things has to be there for it to be relevant. One, it should be cash. And it should be from future, not the past. And it should be incremental. Only the change, not the entire amount of cash. So it includes incremental cost, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means anything that you have foregone to achieve what you have just achieved. Okay. To carry on with the project that you have decided to carry on, you must have foregone some other projects that was there. Another opportunity was there which you might have missed. Because two things you cannot carry, right? You can only, for example, for me to deliver this lecture, I'm leaving aside I am sacrificing my leisure time that I could have spent somewhere else. Maybe watching a movie or reading a book. So that is an opportunity cost for me. Okay, that I have to include. Because of that project only opportunity cost is there. Otherwise, this cost would not be there, right? I would have not sacrificed anything. So that you have to include. Next, incremental fixed overhead. You have to include, look at the whole organization. These are the things you have to exclude, not relevant. Depreciation. Depreciation is nothing, is a non-cash expense, by the way. It's an accounting adjustment. So exclude. Sunk cost, exclude. Unavoidable cost, exclude. Okay. Apportioned fixed overheads. Unavoidable means no matter what you do, you still cannot avoid those costs. Every company will have some type of risk or cost, no matter whatever strategy you apply. Those costs, those type of cost exclude. Apportioned fixed overhead exclude. Financing cash flow interest exclude. You have to know both the list exclude and include. Sometimes students often do this mistake. They include the things which they should have excluded. Okay. Now for one off contract, minimum contract price. Okay, for one off contract, the total net relevant cash flow associated with that contract. That is the minimum contract price. At the minimum, there will be no gain, no loss. Okay, but higher price is good for the organization. Now comes to make buy decision. Sometimes we have this decision whether to make this product or whether to buy this from another supplier. The decision is based on look at the future incremental cash flow. Then watch out for the opportunity cost, especially whether or not spare capacity exists and alternative uses for capacity. Then make or buy decisions with a limiting factor. You have to go through 5 steps. If you have a limiting factor and then you have to decide whether you have to make or buy. Step 1. Calculate saving per unit of producing in-house. For example, if you decide to make it how much you are saving. This saving you will get it from comparing your purchase price, okay, the price that you have to pay to buy versus the price that you have to make. VC means variable cost to make. So external purchase price minus variable cost to make. The difference is the saving. If the cost to buy is more than cost of making, better to make. If it's the other way around, better to buy. Then step 2. Work out the saving per unit of the limiting factor used by the product. Limiting factor, in the exam you will be told what is the limiting factor. Step 3. Based on it, saving per unit of limiting factor, you rank the products. How do you rank? Highest saving per unit of limiting factor will be ranked first, and then second, third, fourth, like that. Step 4. Allocate the scarce resources that you have based on the order rank until you have fully utilized the resource. Step 5. After that, you will see some products, some demand you will still not be able to satisfy. So for any products with unsatisfied demand can be satisfied by buying externally. You see, after you have produced entirely, everything is utilized, still there is something you need to satisfy the customer demand, you buy it externally. Okay, step 5. So you have to follow this 5 steps in the order given. Now, practical factor. These are some practical factor which you'll come across when you make a decision whether to make or buy. First question, can the external supplier deliver the sufficient quantity and quality as and when needed? If yes, go ahead and buy. If no, don't buy. Second, control of quality and delivery. Who is controlling it? Is it your supplier or you? If you are not able to control that quality, buying is not a good decision. Third, external supplier. Do they have the specialized skill? If yes, buy. Social factor. Remember, if you are outsourcing, it will result in redundancies in your company. Legal factor is there. Outsourcing may impact contractual obligations. If one of the party defaults, they don't comply, they are legal factor. Then alternative use of resource. Can we have an alternative use of resource? Customer perception. Some customers, if you see, they value the product made in-house, so you could not buy. And confidentiality. If you have decided to outsource, you are going to sacrifice on this confidentiality. So if you're willing to do that, go ahead. Otherwise, buying is not the right decision. Because when you are buying it from the other company, it gives some information about your company, how that product is made. Now, the next decision is whether to shut down or continue. So this decision, again, look at the future incremental cash flow. Apportion overhead, not relevant. Only specific incremental cost. Closure cost is there. Penalty and redundancy. Then reorganization cost. Alternative use of resource. Can we make an alternative product? Now, practical factor. When you shut down, there will be some additional cost. Because reorganization costs which are unquantifiable at present. When you decide to reorganize, some cost is there which you cannot quantify. Then that's why additional cost. Impact on customer. When you're shutting down, what is the impact on customer? Because customers always want a wide portfolio of products, range of products they want, even whether they buy or not. They should know that you have all the type of products that they want. Okay, next, impact on other products. Remember, if you shut down on one, it can impact on your other product if the same customer is buying the other products as well. Okay, maybe a loss leader. Next decision is joint product. Sometimes we make products jointly. So here again, future incremental cash flow. In fact, in conclusion, everything look at future incremental cash flow only. Whatever decision, shut down, make, buy, joint product. Okay, then you need to sell at the split off versus process further and then sell. Either you can sell off at that time, join the two split the two products, or process the two products further and then sell later on. So here, pre-separation joint cost not relevant. That means before the separation, whatever the joint cost is there is not relevant, irrelevant. Only include post split off aspect. After splitting off, what is the cost? Only those costs. Questions to be attempted are SIP company, Horn Grain Company, Bits and Pieces, Stay Clean, Choice of Contracts. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in day 9. Make sure that you watch my other lectures as well, and you can download all these PDF slides, the PPT slides from my channel only. Go to about section of my channel and go to PM Revision Crash Course and download all the slides. Thank you for watching and take care.